Welcome to our Thursday night live stream.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
Two
Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics. And every Monday, we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and X.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, in that way, every time it's the day before Joe's birthday, you'll be alerted to it.
Let me turn on Do Not Disturb. I got a new computer, so I don't have all my settings done.
Okay, so
I don't want to hear beep, beep for every email that comes through.
But you know what you need to do?
What?
Pause to sing, and everybody help me at home. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe. Happy birthday to you and many more. So many more.
We got my birthday present today. We got 8 more chickens.
We are turning into those people, y'all. Like, we have over 30 chickens. We know that. We were debating back and forth over exactly how many we've got to count. But yeah, with the babies, it's getting to be quite the little flock, 7 turkeys, and an upcoming opportunity. Anybody that's in the Florida area that would like to help us build a bigger coop, we're going to be doing that as kind of like a fun thing to do together. And it's going to be
built pretty quick.
I think it'll be fun. So we're going to get back from the cruise. The cruise is happening. You know how I know? Because I got my nails did today with my mom and Sarah G. We had such a fun time getting pampered today. So this is happening. We got to go home and pack and get on this cruise.
Yep. Yeah, so the guy we got the turkeys from, he had a couple of chicken runs that we were getting from him because he used to have 150 chickens and they're getting ready to move. So he's going to just keep his cattle. And so I went to pick him up and he was like, hey, I have 15 chickens. If you want them, you can have them for free. And then when I got over there, he was like, well, my wife wants to keep 5. And they were your kind. They were super friendly. One of them was a smaller one. And then there were a couple of Brahmas, but they were super friendly Brahmas.
Right.
And then he couldn't catch 2 of them. So we got 8. Let me turn off the air conditioner.
That was, hey, I mean, I'm glad to get them. And if you are somebody that's had chickens and you're trying to, like, you know, introduce new ones to the flock, nighttime, leverage the nighttime.
Yeah, we just put them in there. I mean, when everybody went to bed, we threw the 8 in there and they're all roosting together. So super happy.
Dustin, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the $10 super chat, Dustin.
How nice.
So if you're new to our channel, this is our Thursday live stream. Our Thursday live stream is just our chance to hang out with our community. We love doing that because our channel really is all about community and we like to answer any questions or comments that you may have. So if you have a question about keto, carnivore, or pretty much anything else within reason, go ahead and type the word question and then whatever your question is in the chat, or use the super chat function like Dustin. We greatly appreciate that. It does help support the channel, and this is our full-time job. Sean, thank you very much for the $20 super chat.
Now, I'm so excited that it is your birthday, but Denise actually let me know that it's her grandson's birthday coming up. His name is Logan. Let's give a song to Logan. Happy birthday. You ready?
Yep.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Logan. Happy birthday to you and many more. So many more, young man.
Carnivore Werewolf, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much.
So thankful.
Let's get into the comments here.
Well, before I forget, Carnivore Werewolf on his channel actually just released the documentary that he's been working on. We were so honored to be a part of it. Check it out. Like, just what a fantastic public service documentary for truckers, trying to help truckers consider transferring over to a keto carnivore lifestyle.
Yep. John, did you fix the autocorrect error? Yes, I emailed them. I'm going to call them to make sure it got fixed tomorrow, and then I'll have you send you a new
Oh
thing.
no, Mary Ann. Good evening, family. I have a prayer request and I lost my nephew today. Please pray for his family. He leaves 2 teenage daughters
Absolutely.
and a son in his early 20s. I am so sorry for your loss, Mary Ann.
Okay, so Lady Fritzer said, so you have a new computer. What software do you use to migrate your apps and date over to the new one? PC, not Apple, right? No, I have an Apple. So with Apple, there is a migration assistant that you can literally turn your new computer, your old computer into your new computer, or your new computer into your old computer. When I upgrade computers, I choose to not do that. Just because in case there's a bunch of junk, which generally with me there is, that I don't use, apps that I don't use anymore, stuff like that. I want to have a fresh, clean slate on my computers when I do that. So what I do is I literally have little hard drives like these. This is a 6 terabyte little hard drive. I save all my documents, things like that. I screenshot all of the apps. So like I open up my app folder, I screenshot that. And then I basically start the computer brand new and then reinstall those programs that I had before. This way I have exactly what I want, because I have the new MacBook Max, and I have a 2 terabyte hard drive, because when you edit videos, it likes to have a giant hard drive, especially if you use Final Cut Pro, because it creates this huge file and it can eat up 2 terabytes very, very quickly. But Migration Assistant is great if you have an Apple. As far as PC, I have no idea, because I stopped working with PCs years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it took me less than an hour to turn my new computer into from my old
have
computer.
been working so hard.
Yep.
On the farm.
We have walls.
We have
every
walls.
room except for our bathroom, Caleb's room, and the spare bedroom.
I'm so excited. Like, you've been working so hard.
Bathroom is done other than the ceiling.
And we didn't know when we scheduled the cruise, how badly we would need a week break. I think that this is coming at such an amazing time.
Yeah.
Because we're starting to go to bed. I told my mom
it's
and
dark
Sarah
by 6.
But I mean, during the night, we are lifting and carrying and pushing and pulling and dragging so much stuff. I felt like we sounded like the 2 old men from the Muppets last night, comparing who's sorer.
Right.
It was crazy. So definitely, are you ready?
I'm looking forward to a break. Gonna go home tomorrow.
We may have teeth.
I get to pick my teeth up, or
Yay!
Anthony's actually gonna pick them up for me, so that because she's gonna be gone by noon. But I got a bunch of ed videos. I want to just sit down and edit videos, since I won't be here being distracted by all the work that needs to be done. Saturday, I got a couple little things to do in the old house, because we've listed our old house. If you want to live in South Florida,
we got a house.
We got a house for sale.
It's been prayed through. It's prayed up, that house.
Yeah. So last week, Rachel spent 4 days just putting everything away, making it look presentable. I got to fix a door that has a big hole in it, and I have to replace a couple of baseboards just so that the pictures look really good. And then we leave on our 2KK getaway cruise on Sunday.
And talk about
laser engraving.
Yes.
5K medals.
Yes, because we're doing them in wood for this cruise. Really excited about that it's going to have a unique style. It looks like the lanyards that we ordered weeks ago flipped into the parking space this evening, like the Dukes of Hazzard. I was fretting so much that they were not going to arrive on time, but it's literally here today, I believe.
Yep. Chris said, how about llamas? No llamas.
No llama.
No llamas.
There's too much drama.
I was talking to the guy we got the turkeys and the chickens from. And,
really nice guy.
He was originally a rancher in Texas. And then he moved here. His wife is an oncologist, never raised poultry, never raised animals. And so wanted to do it for her.
Right.
And so he was telling me, listen, he's like, cattle easier than chickens, sheep easier than chickens. And he was like, a lot of this stuff you see like online, Dr. Pol and stuff, like he's like, listen, that's for television. They're not going to show you that most cattle
everything's easy breezy,
just hunky dory. He's like, but cattle, you look out the door once a day and go, oh, yep, they're still there over there. Especially in Florida, where you don't have to worry about grain.
Have watched so much Dr. Pol. I just figure if you own a cow, you spend most of your time with your hand up its butt. That seems to be the case. I've never seen anybody with their hand up a cow's butt more than that person. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's too much for me.
Andy's here. Said, hey, everyone, going to sleep early. Have a flight to catch in the morning. Yeah,
can't wait
Florida.
to see you guys.
So this is actually a lot of people from before.
So thankful. One thing that I'm really excited for is how everyone has taken ownership of this cruise, of the community. We opened up the conference rooms with like, hey, here's the hours. What do you guys want to do if the conference room is available? And we've got games, we've got bingo, we've got like we're going to be doing limbo. We're going to have a birthday party for everybody that's celebrating on the cruise. How cool is that? We're going to be having games of all sorts, and we're going to have arts, we're going to have crafts, like we're going to be learning how to draw. Like there's just so much stuff. And to me, that
all optional.
Oh yeah, of course, but I mean, that's community. We are all on like a keto carnivore journey, but we're all so different, and everybody has so many unique things to share, talents that we don't have.
Yeah.
Once we get together, we all get to take part on what everybody else is good at. So I really loved our first cruise. I'm even more excited about this one.
I'm excited about this one. So Amy is here.
Hey, Amy.
She said, thank you, David, for the documentary. I'm married to a trucker. He does short hauls, but it's still challenging to stay on track. He does have a Class A CDL, though.
You know, I had the blessing of being interviewed by David. And, you know, when he said, well, what would you say to truckers, you know, as far as like for safety? And really, honestly, all I could think of was my own dad, that he passed away. No notice, heart attack at his desk. It was his job. And when he passed away, it was just him. But if you're a trucker and you have a heart attack like my dad did, it's not going to be just the trucker that passes away. It's going to be all the damage, all the wreck that's the potential there. So I'm really thankful that you made this. And that we have the opportunity to kind of help people, because sometimes people won't get healthy for themselves.
Right.
They get healthy for other people. And I'll take it.
That's
Whatever's the reason that somebody started their keto carnivore journey, I'm thankful that you're here. Whether you did it because of a medical diagnosis, whether it's because you wanted to lose some few pounds, whether it was somebody that you love that nagged you into it. Right? We always say, like, Nurse Cindy got nagged into it, sister, and aren't we thankful that her sister did nag her?
Dustin is here.
Hey, Dustin.
Said, I'd love to use Apple to edit videos, but the walled garden with phones, pods, tablets, everything, you can't escape. Yeah, once you get hooked into the Apple ecosystem, you won't leave.
Oh, thank you so much, Stephanie, Exposing Darkness.
Thank you very much for the $19.99 super chat.
Thank you.
Jerry said, you guys are on the wrong side. No, we're on the right side. The only time that I'm on that side is when we're doing cooking videos in the old house.
Yeah.
Just because of where we had everything. Who knows what'll happen once we get this house set up.
So thankful
Trying to do our cabinets right now.
Thank you to the bankers.
More money than we thought, because we want to do this big 8-foot island.
Yeah.
And so we had like $3,000 budget, and it'd be more than double that. So we're still trying to get the right configuration of cabinets, because I don't want to use a bunch of fillers. And so that's really where we're at right now, is as I'm doing the sheetrock, trying to get that, because it's going to take 3 or 4 weeks to get them. One company I talked to today said 6 to 8 weeks plus delivery, and that's like not going to work.
I'm very thankful to Eileen, who shared her, like, just her expertise in design, because we're not designers. We have no background in architecture. And so honestly, we didn't even know what was possible. Like, if it wasn't for her sharing her talent with us, like, we wouldn't have even known like where to put the electric boxes, like where to do stuff.
Oh, so Chris
thankful.
is saying the camera app is defaulted to mirror mode. Joe will fix it eventually.
Oh,
well, see, you know why? Because I'm looking at my screen and I don't know. It looks the same over here too.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Where we're sitting.
Virtual background, video, mirror camera.
As you can see in the back, we've got the door open. Usually I'm like, make up your mind. The door is open or the door is closed.
Okay. Because see my shirt. Now you can read it before you
Oh,
come.
neat.
Yeah. It's new computer. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris is awesome.
But because Miss Tabitha is decided she's going to sleep back there, I have it open in case she changes her mind and wants to come out.
Joanna said, I got my carnivore bar today. The apple, first time trying pemmican.
Yeah,
it is so good. I love the texture and the apple flavor come through. I cannot believe it's me. My problem is that I have 24 of them being delivered and they weren't delivered today, which means we're going to have your mom.
Yeah, come
by once we know that they're
not
here
to eat them all.
and put them in the house. I thought they were going to be delivered in time and unless they sent them to our old house.
I don't know if they're sold out yet. But don't take my advice. Take Joanna's advice. I am telling you, those suckers are freaking delicious.
Yeah.
And yeah, you will not realize. And if you're doing the triple B&E challenge course with us, I'm so excited.
Not the apple pie, though.
Not the apple pie, but I'm just saying that they have just a plain old salted.
Yep.
And it's so nice to have convenience food even on triple B&E. I think that's a particular challenge. You know, of course you can make purse bacon. Of course you can make your own beef jerky, your own carnivore chips, your own meat thins like I do. But sometimes I like it when somebody else fixes something, wraps it up, and then I can just go on my merry way.
Matt, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Said happy birthday Joe from Matt, Sarah, Joy, and Emma.
You.
Oh, a couple of housekeeping things. So I finally got us a new address up here in Arcadia.
Yes.
So you will find that down below in the description box of this video. And it should now, I believe, TubeBuddy updated all of our previous videos. So in the description of all the videos, if you're ever looking to send us anything, there is an address down below. With an Arcadia address, so that now that we are up here, so if you want to send us anything, there's that address down there. And also, one more day until we eliminate the deal on the $250 for the annual membership for Mighty Networks, as well as the $55 price on the beef, butter, bacon, and egg.
And we've got a whole joining us for Triple B&E number 26. We're so excited about that. Don't miss out. I'm telling you what, if you're trying to stick to your plans, you're trying to really jumpstart 2025, start December 26th with us. Do it in community.
Yep.
We're going to help you stay on track. We need each other. And it's not just me and this bald guy sitting next to me. I'm telling you, when the two crazy ketos family get together, mountains move.
Yeah.
Like
this
things get done.
Needs to get out of the RV.
I
keep hitting my head on like the low door because I'm 6 foot tall, but when you walk out the door, it's not 6 feet.
No, you got to remember.
And then getting in bed, there's an overhang. And the other night, I jumped in bed. And
sometimes
nailed my head.
I will not. I am so thankful for this RV. Do not get me wrong. There's no way I could have handled this without like a crime spree if we didn't have this RV. But every time you want to get up and down, like I have to remember to like extend the television or move it back and close it up. Otherwise, I donk my head as well.
Your head may look like mine. You just have hair covered.
But I can cover it up.
Right.
You're for everybody to see.
Sean said, I've been enjoying seeing all the photo updates from Stacy and Ken on their trek down to Florida.
Yay.
John said, I'm heading out tomorrow. Long drive to Florida. Can't wait to hit nice weather. It's been in the 20s and 30s early every night this week. Well, fortunately, it's warming up a little bit. But the other day, it was 36 degrees when I woke up. I sent Chris Bear a text, and I'm like, I'm moving back to South Florida because it's literally like, even though we're only 2.5 hours north of the old house,
degrees different,
and it's only like 120 miles, and half of that is going across the state. If you look at direct, it's only like 70 miles if you did a direct line, but it's like 15 degrees cooler up here.
I need to check Jamaica and see what's the temperature like for the 10-day forecast for where we're heading, because I'm hoping that it is sunny and beautiful in Jamaica. But yeah, I was seeing Terry D'Angelo was like showing pictures of where she's living. Adrian sharing pictures where they're living. Like, get me the heck out of here for a minute. So yes, and we will deposit everybody back to their winter wonderland in time for Christmas.
Yep.
So I love the fact that you're going to get a little bit of sun and then you can get back to the winter fun.
Artemis, thank you very much for the birthday wishes.
Thank you. I like that. Andy says vacation started a few hours ago, so I'm doing great. Yes, there's something magical.
Eileen said, "I'm just drawing out what you guys told me you wanted." You're doing a great. We had no idea where
You're
to
bringing
go,
it to life.
especially with the bar. Like we were like, I knew I wanted a bar. I never envisioned half in and half out of the kitchen. I certainly never envisioned 8 feet. You know, of course, that adds a lot of cost to it. But when I think
worth it.
And then
that's where we'll
like
stay a lot.
when we were like looking at cabinets at a local cabinet place just to try to price them out and showed them, here's what you had drawn up for us. You know, Rachel's like, maybe 10 feet. And I'm like, 8 feet is a lot. I mean, that's 4 feet more than we had in our old house. Like it is a lot. And so I'm so thankful to you, Eileen, for drawing everything out. We just need to put together the final list of exactly what cabinets, then we can find a place to order the cabinets. It's not going to take us 3 months to get them.
And she's been sending us different vendors. That's a possibility. So we're going to look into all of them. And yeah, I'm getting excited. Joe did knockdown on Caleb's bathroom. I think you did a fantastic job. Painted it. The backsplash is on the shower. Like, I'm so thankful. And then I've been trying to do as much on the outside to get the outside fit and keep working on the farm. It's going to need a lot of work on the land itself. But so I've figured out how to use a weed eater, and I've been trying to expand the spaces and make it safe for all the babies, and certainly raise them the way we want to, which is a lot of FaceTime. Like we want our animals to be very loving and very, safe. We've got a grandbaby that comes and visit us. We want to make sure that all the animals on the farm are safe and loved and doing well. And so that takes a lot of time to get to know them all.
Paul said 1-800-CHRIS-B for tech services. Chris has gotten me out of more jams. I cannot even explain it.
Yes.
John said much better. Mirror looked weird. Yeah, because the problem is the mirror wasn't showing up.
It was funny because Holly was texting back with you from Keto Chow, was, checking on us at the farm. And so she said, Steve from Keto Chow would love to help you out.
I was like, no, that would not be a good idea.
No.
That would Steve and I are like long lost brothers, and we think a lot alike. And if you put the two of us with Chris, it's even worse. And I'm like, so let's go over the list of Joe's injuries so far. I sliced open my hand, completely healed. The other day, I was burning a bunch of debris, and I burned all of the hair off of my arm.
Just one arm.
So this arm has hair. This arm has no hair. Lots of cuts, bruises. Yesterday, I pulled the groin muscle stepping down off of my stool.
Well, I did burn my arm doing the weed eater.
So you put your hand up against the muffler.
I did.
So yeah. So if you put me building a house with Steve, we would probably like live in the emergency room.
Right.
Because like we do dumb things.
Well, I was in the middle of
like, you don't need to turn off the electric when you're working on a 220 line.
I am finishing up a coaching call and I hear Joe, and then he comes in and he's like, whoa, I just, burned all my hair off. I hope I have eyebrows. And I was like, what do you mean you hope you have eyebrows? He's like, I got to check the mirror because I'm not entirely sure I still have eyebrows. And like, I'm thankful you do have eyebrows. But did you think to yourself, why did it burn my hair off? Why not my back or something? Right? Know. Like,
Michelle said, speaking of beef, butter, bacon, egg, this is my first time doing the course. Yay. I heard Rachel mention recipes available for the challenge. Where are those? They will be in the course
as
we'll
we
be
go
releasing
along.
It as we go along.
Because I want to do.
We've never had the recipes before.
They're brand new, and I want to make sure we do some videos and so that we can share them with you all.
Jamie said, I can get a hunk of whole roasted pig almost anywhere while I'm out and about here for $7.
Wow, that's great.
I'm definitely going to raise pigs. I know Rachel doesn't want pigs, but I only want one kind of pig. I want cooney pigs because they just eat grass. And like, think about how awesome is that, a pig that just eats grass.
I do have a lot of grass to cut. Although I do find mowing 6 acres very therapeutic. I'm able to like put in my AirPods, do it, relax. And there's something really magical. I've always enjoyed this because we were landscapers. We had a landscaping company. Now Anthony has taken that over back in South Florida. But I love jobs where there is a clear ending to the day. Right. When we were in.
I don't have a clear. Right now I don't.
No, you always go to bed. And industry was definitely that way where you're like, I feel like I could have done more. When are you done? But anytime that we've mowed a lawn, you're like, I'm done when the lawn is finished.
Matt said, Joe, you need to 3D print a helmet to protect your noggin.
Freaking true.
Lynette said, I'm in Florida as well, and it has been way too cold for me. The other day, when I got up when it was 36 degrees, I went to Home Depot. It was 6 a.m. I think I was going to get the paint, right, if I remember right. And I literally got to Home Depot, and all of the contractors are picking up their stuff in the morning. There's guys in earmuffs, ski coats.
Well, I just look homeless, and we always rag on my mom because she will just put on random layers of things like out of the closet. It's like Paddington Bear or something. Like she just, it's nothing matches. It's like a combination of multiple pants, multiple shirts, and like coats on. And I was getting up even this morning to check on all the babies. And I thought, I've turned into my mother. I have like 4 layers of mismatched nonsense on right now. I mean, if I'm going to become like somebody, what are you, Mr. Miyagi? If I'm going to grow up and be like somebody, I probably should be like my mom because she's pretty awesome. But it was just funny this morning when I caught a glimpse of my homeless looking self.
Don't worry, it's on video. Jazzy Mama said our high is 18 today. So glad for temperatures above 0. And here we are complaining about 36.
I'm going to shut my mouth now. I am sorry. I have nothing to complain about.
Joanna said my tree is going up this week and all the decorations will be done inside out. I'm kind of upset we're not going to have a tree this year.
Usually Royal Caribbean has a nice Christmas tree up when it's like a Christmas time cruise. I am hoping that is the case. And I am literally sucking up all of the Christmas decorations that everybody is posting. So can you guys do me a favor? I do not have the ability to have a Christmas tree this year. We just don't. Everything is packed up. And when we come back, it's kind of like, what is the point?
No.
We don't even home yet. So if you guys could post in Mighty Networks and in the Facebook family group, like, what does your Christmas decor look like? What does your Hanukkah decor look like? What does your Kwanzaa decor look like? I would love to see it so that I have some festivity. We need a Festivus for the rest of us that don't have a Christmas tree this year.
Sean said, when is the 2KK Flip This House channel going to start up? I've started like organizing all of the video clips so that I can start editing. So probably like the week after we get back from the cruise, we're going to launch that channel. Right now I want to get enough videos edited for next week. I had a couple that I was started editing for this week, and I just decided, you know what? I know that we're supposed to have 5 videos, but I was like, we only have 3 days and we're gone for a week. And my goal is to at least have all of the sheetrock and the knockdown and the painting done before Christmas. Like the floor in, we probably won't have an actual kitchen because I don't think we'll have our kitchen cabinets by then. But I would love to be able to at least be able to kind of live in the house, like have our bedroom done, the living room done, the kitchen, everything done, but the cabinets with the floor in and the paint done. So I'm like, if I have 2 solid weeks, I know I can get that done. Like the sheetrock is all up other than the mudding. And Rachel let me get these things called from level 5.
Yes.
Because I'm not the best at tape and mudding. Like I did in my bedroom. It took me 5 days and it still isn't where I want it to be, which is why I decided that we're going to do knockdown texture because it hides imperfections. So I bought these level 5 things. It's like a banjo taper where you literally, it puts the mud on the tape, puts it on all at once. Skim boxes where you just load the mud, you just kind of go down and it does all of this taping and everything for you and makes it much easier and quicker. And so I was like, okay, well, a drywall guy wanted $7,000 just to do the tape and mud, not including putting up the drywall or painting. And so if I spend like, a few $100s on these tools, it would be worth it, especially if it cuts my time in half. So I'm excited to be able to use them.
We really appreciate y'all's patience during this time. Certainly a lot of things are disruptive. This is not the norm. Usually we have an 11 on 11 in November and we have like the 2KK, like, rock around the clock, walk around the clock every single year. We put up this subscriber Christmas tree. This year is weird, but I am thankful for this growing season and I'm excited for 2025. And I feel very like this has been a real personal win, I think, for both of us. Like when this is all over, it's been hard, but we will have built a home.
Yep.
Like, I mean, there certainly we could not have done this pre-keto, but I mean, that's such an exciting thought.
Right.
You know, I mean, if we can build the home we live in.
And a lot of people have asked, why didn't you
do?
guys just demolish the house and buy a new manufactured home?
We couldn't afford
Number
it.
one, new manufactured homes, by the time they drop it off, deliver it, and then you pay a contractor to do everything together. We were looking at a couple $100,000. Can't afford that. And then more importantly, it's still not built the way I want it. It's still going to be like 1/4-inch sheetrock. It still wasn't going to be exactly the way I want it. So I would rather put my own blood, literal
blood,
and tears into doing it.
A lot of tears,
knowing that it's done the way I want it. I know the exact quality of what's in there. Like I'm putting in the best possible vinyl laminate flooring. I mean, we bought it at a wholesale like clearance price, but it was originally $7 a square foot. We just got it for $2 a square foot. I'm using 1/2-inch sheetrock. I'm doing the plumbing the way I want it done. It just means it's a lot of work. But in the end, we're going to be able to look back and go like, gosh, at 54 years old, I rebuilt the house pretty much by myself. You know, Rachel is great with like the little,
I'm a helper,
the helping stuff. And that's important. Otherwise it's going to take me 3 times longer. But you know, to think that the other day I carried 40 sheets of sheetrock, 2 at a time, into the house, up the steps by myself. I couldn't have done this 7 years ago.
No way.
And now I'm 54 years old and I'm working 12-hour days and rebuilding a house.
And maybe this is not your passion. Maybe this is not something that you're like, hey, my goal is to do what Joe and Rachel are doing. But you do have a dream. I hope you have a dream. I hope you have a goal for yourself. And I hope that you see that this season in our life means that whatever your dream is, getting healthy can make it possible to chase that dream, whether it is travel or whether it is pursuing a new career or going back to school, whatever it is. Keto has made it possible for us to be well enough to pursue our dream. And I feel like that is worth sticking to the plan. When things get tough, when it gets hard, when you see a lot of cravings or triggers like pop up around you, especially in this holiday season, do not give up, because that momentary checkout to have something that you're craving, don't let that put you further from your dream being realized.
What is the noise?
Well, it's Tab.
She's in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamie said we need at least 2 crazy grandbabies this year.
Yes, right.
I would love that. But we have no control over that.
But what we do have control is apparently is however many 2 crazy chickens that we can put on this farm.
Jamie said, what kind of magical animal turns grass into pork? They're called kuni pigs. The nice thing about them also is you don't need mud pits and stuff. So, I mean, you think about boars, like wild hogs,
they're not staying in the mud pit.
Wild hogs burrow. I mean, we have a major hog problem here in Florida where a lot of farmers will pay you to come hunt them on their property. But you don't even need a hunting license to hunt boar in the state of Florida.
But their temperament is not a kuni.
No, but they do a lot of damage, because pretty much what the boars do is
they got tusks.
They're just digging up at the roots and getting like whatever they can find, like whether it be nuts or, you know, little worms and things like that. But there are a lot of like pork animals that do forage. The kuni. I just don't want to deal with the slop, and I don't want to deal with the mud. And Rachel actually does not. What the biggest thing we don't want to deal with is the squealing when you try to catch a pig.
It makes me feel pitiful. We have one chicken that I feel like I have deposited enough love and faith in that chicken's account that when I have to move her, she should not act like I'm an axe murderer about to kill her. Like, we've only ever Like if I moved her, it's for good things. It's protection, or I've got something good for you. But Miss Bernice, just has an absolute fit. And she sounds just like a squeaking piglet when you move her. I don't know why she acts like that.
Chris said, turning off the breaker for a 110-volt AC is kind of optional. I mean, worst case, you'd short it, trip the breaker. What could go wrong? My lawyer says that was a joke. So I may or may not have a few times touched live 110 lines. I definitely am known for changing out ceiling fans without turning off the electric. I don't advise it.
Do not do this. You've got more sense than
I have
this guy.
a few times working on this house, turned off breakers to, like, I replaced all the electrical outlets. And so I would turn off the breaker to put in the new box and the new outlet. And I would I'm just cutting wires instead of like unscrewing everything. I have 2 or 3 times cut the wire to trip the breaker because I thought, again, this is one of the reasons I'm doing it myself. It did not make sense that the back bedroom is on the same breaker as the kitchen. And so I turned off all of its main wiring, not bothering to turn off the kitchen ones to learn as I cut those wires and trip the breaker, that was the kitchen, and it made no sense. But I have done that a few times.
The funniest, it's not funny.
Not just in this house, but just in general. I don't advise it.
Well, I want you to know that if you get shocked, I'm not happy about it. Okay. But it was comical if it was in like a hypothetical situation and not the real life situation we were dealing with. Joe was crawling under the house to work on the plumbing, and
gotta find that wire still.
He was so sweaty it was just, it's
hard sweaty work. and the plumbing pipes as you're cutting them and they're leaking water.
And I'm standing on the top, I'm in the house trying to feed the plumbing through to him. And I hear him just, ow, ow, ow. I'm getting shocked. What is this? And I'm like, I don't know. What is this?
There's evidently a wire must have a piece of the insulation sheathing that must be nicked under the wire. And it's the main feed. So it's the wire coming in from the outside panel to the inside. And it must be right there. And because I'm wet, as I would rub up against that wire. So when John Paul comes to help me change out my panel, we're going to look for where is that wire that was electrocuting me.
I was just like, what do you want me to do? I felt like, should I tear through the floorboard? I felt like Cam from Modern Family going like, I'm breaking the window. Because I hear him squealing, but I can't get to him.
Joanna said, I have a special place in my heart for Fiddler on the Roof movie and music. It was my dad's favorite music and introduced it. I love that movie.
How nice. Yeah. What is your favorite holiday movie? Like, what's the holiday movie that you look forward to? Because we're in it now. Like, what movies are you? National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is my absolute favorite.
Dustin said, I hardly wear anything heavier than a hoodie. Same ones like what I wore at KPI. I love hoodies, and that is one thing I'm kind of excited that I get to wear hoodies more often here.
You grew up in New York, but you've turned into a lizard since the transplanting to Florida.
Bonnie, thank you very much for the $4.99 super chat. Said have a wonderful cruise and happy birthday, Joe. Thank you very much. LFBO, do you think you'd ever plan a New Year's Eve cruise?
It would be cool.
It would be cool. Yeah. The problem is for us, listen, a lot of times when you have group cruises, there's like an extra fee or anything. For us, this is just about community. This is literally, it's not like we're not charging like a $200 fee on top of the price of the cruise or anything like that. For me, it's all about how do we keep the cost as low as possible,
cheap as possible,
so that people can enjoy it. Rachel has fallen in love with cruising. And when you start looking at, like, listen, for example, next year, we're doing the 2KK birthday cruise. It's basically a 2KK getaway cruise. We called it a birthday cruise because it happens to fall on my 55th birthday. But when you look at, you can have 2 people go on a cruise for 4 nights, all of your food, everything included, for less than $1,000. Like, that's a heck of a vacation.
Yeah.
And so the problem is New Year's cruises, Christmas cruises.
They add fees to it.
The price is just insane.
Right.
And I just want as many people to be able to have this community as possible. Yeah, we could do it and say, okay, maybe only 10 people can come, and that would be cool. But I want community. Like we've never had friends before. It's cool to have friends to hang out with, to go on vacation with, to just I love going on, whether it be the 2KK cruise or even the low carb cruise, and sitting down at dinner and eating dinner and going on excursions and going to the shows. And when we did last year, when we did the January 2KK cruise, and we all went to what is that thing? The Crazy Quest.
Yes.
And you had Adrian
show
participating as one of the runners. And you've got 20 of us all rooting on our team one. Me taking my teeth out because one of the quests was false teeth. I mean,
Susan took her bra off.
It's a blast to do it together in community. And so we want to involve as many people as possible. But if I could find a cheap one, I would.
The pursuit of more present is the focus for December. And I think the best gift that this cruise gives us is time. Even when you're at a conference, you're rushed. Like, even if you can stop and talk to somebody for a little bit, if we get to visit with people, it's always like you're getting shuffled to like something else because you're there for the conference. Like, you're there to like wait till the next speaker, and maybe you can catch somebody at lunch or grab dinner together, or maybe you can pass each other, in the restroom. But there's something so special about this cruise where we could just sit and visit as long as we want, wherever we want.
We haven't even booked excursions for this cruise. I'm just more, it's not for me. It's not about going to Jamaica or anything about that. The only thing we did was we're going to go to Hideaway Bay at Coco Cay.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just like the fact, so our old church, the one that Anthony is the youth pastor at in Lighthouse Point down by our old house, every year they do this big Christmas thing where families for $5 can come in. What do they get? $50?
Yeah.
For $5, they get $50 worth of new presents for their kids. It's an awesome Christmas store. And so Anthony called yesterday. He goes, do you guys want to volunteer? We need some more volunteers. And I'm like, when is it? He goes, it's the 14th. I'm like, what time does it start? He's like, you got to be there by 8 a.m. I'm like, sorry, son, that's the day we're coming home from the cruise. And I'm not giving up even 30 minutes to have that final breakfast with our community. Because we would literally have to get off of the cruise as soon as we dock by 7 a.m. to get up to the church. And I enjoy that final breakfast before everybody gets off the cruise.
That's always a magical time where everybody,
lots of tears of leaving.
It is, but I am so excited. Like, this is my gift for Christmas, is that I get to share Christmas time with my two crazy ketos family. Like, that is the greatest gift that I could get, I think.
Carrie said, what electrolytes are you drinking today? I have been downing the new Groovy Grapefruit from Salty. I absolutely love it. I mean, listen, I have a lot of Element, and we do drink the Element.
Sure.
But I've kind of put them away because it's like I'm like a kid in a candy store. Oh, new.
What's new?
Right? Like, I have every flavored keto brick, and I love my keto bricks, but I can't stop eating the new Cake Pop beef tallow ones because they're so delicious.
Yeah, I don't think that's just new.
So for me, whatever's new is my current favorite, even though I like the old ones. But there's something about the new flavors that I really enjoy with Salty, where I didn't think anything would ever replace the orange one for me, because orange is always my favorite, but I really like that grapefruit.
The grapefruit is definitely my favorite, but we've just been expending so much energy. I have to make sure that I up my electrolytes. And so I have definitely been drinking them in every coffee experience of the day. And I've had 2 or 3 coffee experiences. And that's when I use, the caramel vibes and the Coco Loco, because it just goes really seamlessly into a cup of coffee.
Carrie said Carnivore's made it possible for me, even with my hernia and bladder and kidney stones, I'm still in great health. That's awesome. Joanna said, because of boars here, my brother won't go out on his 4x4 without a sidearm.
Wow.
He's been chased too many times by a mama boar.
I'm telling you, they're rough. Oh my gracious. I don't know if mommy has posted it in the Mighty Networks yet, but she's got 7 deer that visit her every morning and every evening. Of course, she's put out a salt lick. Thank you, Redmond, for them to come, and they're coming right up to her back porch, and she is loving it. It's magical. It looks like the cast of Bambi is showing up every day.
Lady Fritzer said, is Bernice a barred rock chicken?
She is not. She is actually a lavender Orpington, which everybody always promised me that Orpingtons are going to be like the most mellow. And I find that do not go by the temperament chart of these chicken breeds, because I find that it's so individual. And the only thing that I would suggest if you're thinking about getting a backyard flock is get heavier breeds. The reason why is across the board, heavier breeds like the Orpington are usually not flighty. So like Bernice makes a big hullabaloo every time, you try to pick her up, but they're not constantly flying because they're scared. You get something that is like a bantam, or you get something that's a thing chicken. I think actually for the first time, we're going to have a couple leg bars, which is what the donated ones we got today, which is fine, but they tend to be flightier. Those are the ones you go to Key West, you're going to see in all of the Key West trees, like a bunch of chickens, and they're usually like the thinner, spry chickens. Those breeds of those lighter breeds, they're usually flighty. And what's hard to handle and hard to wrangle is a scared chicken, but you get a heavier chicken, like a Jersey Giant or a Brahma or an Orpington or a Gold Star, those kind of chickens, they're just not as like scared all the time, and they're easier to wrangle.
So Denise said the pigs still need a wallow in the summer, sunburn prevention. They cool themselves. Pigs don't sweat. Yeah. So our friend here, and I know actually a couple of people here who have the Canadian, they usually put shades, and then also he was using that turtle shaped sand pit.
Yes.
Like, it's like a plastic thing. You
put many of them.
He put that with water where they can kind of lay in that. He actually offered it to me today for free. He did that, and then he had his ducks in it.
How cute.
And he was like, but we have a pond if we ever had ducks. But
yeah.
Still thinking about ducks. Andy said Susan did take her bra off, and she still want the biggest. Talk about
no, she was not.
She wasn't the biggest.
No, right. Yeah, I remember that. It was like, it's funny. It's in that moment where you're just living your life, and something happens and a win emerges. Like I loved it. That was like that was one of the greatest moments. That's definitely that whole game show that we were all a part of, and then winning as a family. Like that was pretty incredible. And it's just written on my heart because there were so many wins. Like, I mean, just being bold enough to participate. There are so many people that would have like called themselves, a wallflower or like bashful about stuff. But when it was part of a team, everybody came together, and it was so much fun. And yes, you pulled your teeth out. We have worked so hard to get these teeth. I don't want you throwing them around like confetti in this cruise.
Debbie said we haven't watched a single Christmas movie or listened to Christmas music except for I have no control, like stores and hair.
Really? Why?
We really haven't either. I see a lot of people putting in like, Christmas Vacation, Elf, lots of stuff like that.
When we were getting our nails done today, they were playing Christmas music, and it was really nice. And it was lovely. We actually got to share with the nail technician in talking. He asked, me and Sarah and my mom, like, how do y'all know each other and all this kind of stuff. And we talked about like keto, and we're able to share before and after photos. And so he was amazed by like, the difference and the life transformation. And he's like, none of y'all look like you used to. And so he's like, what was the key? And it was from Vietnam, which is where my aunt is from. She actually just moved back there recently because my uncle had passed away, and she went back to live with that side of the family. And so he said, what was the key? And we were like, sugar is a problem. And he talked about friends and family members that had come to the United States and how their diet immediately changed, and how he noticed like the change in their health, the change in their weight, their circumstance. And he was like, even in Vietnam, we don't have this struggle with sugar. I mean, we have our own, desserts and stuff like that. But he said there's a lot of like stews and there's a lot of like meat and vegetables and things like that. But it's like we come here and he said it is. He goes, the sugar isn't just everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it really is.
Joanna said, when I tasted the Keto Chow grapefruit, I said Joe was right. It tastes just like a fresh grapefruit.
It does.
It really does.
It really does. It's it weirds you out because it's almost leaning to juice instead of a drink.
Right.
Like you drink something that's a cola, you drink something, you know what I mean, that it tastes, you're very conscious of the fact that this is a pretend drink. You drink that groovy grapefruit and it messes with your mind. Like, I think I may be drinking grapefruit juice.
Amy said, my cat tried to lick my Redmond salt rock the other day. I don't know.
Very normal. That's how they discovered that they had salt.
Yeah, I said when we went out to the mine, they discovered it because like the livestock were licking in that particular area. That's how they discovered they had it.
And they will find that if you give a salt, like sea salt, and you give Redmond to an animal, they will, when given the choice, they will go to Redmond every time.
John said it's ruby red grapefruit salty, right? So it's called groovy grapefruit. The best way I can explain it is it tastes like a ruby red grapefruit. So ruby red grapefruits are generally pink. They're reddish, generally sweeter than the yellow grapefruit. Right. I never was a big fan of yellow grapefruits. I always like pink grapefruit. And it's definitely more on that sweeter taste. Lynette said, any chance of another 2K get together in Florida soon? Yes, I'd like to have one sometime in the beginning of next year. We will be at the Florida RV Super Show, although I don't think we're going to be RVing there because the city of Tampa with the fairgrounds, they took over and they were charging like over $400 to park your RV there. So we'll just drive we only live an hour away. So I feel like it's just better for me to just drive there than spend $400 for 4 nights. And that doesn't even include electricity. But we are waiting for confirmation on a couple of things that we might be involved with
next year,
in the middle of next year, like in May. Once we know exactly if and when that's going to happen, we'll be able to build around that. I know we'll be at the COSI in February.
Yes, in Vegas,
which,
baby.
We did not realize the Super Bowl weekend. So need to book our flights for that before. I'm sure they're already ridiculously high. We might be using points on that one.
Well, it was funny because I was talking to Donna Joe.
Hopefully I have enough points for the first class ticket to go on the low carb cruise.
But I don't think that Dave Feldman is like a big football watcher. I just don't think he was thinking.
I don't even know if he still knows that.
He probably does.
But yeah, we would like to have one. Jazzy, is there a link for salty? Great question. I'm not seeing one in the description box. Yes. So here's why there is no link. We have a link for salty, but I'm going to be honest. Is Chris still on here? I probably should not say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
The Keto Chow is better.
If you use the link for our salty, you're only going to get 5% off. But if you use our Keto Chow link and you just buy the salty through Keto Chow, you get 10% off.
Right. We want you to get 10% off, not 5.
I would love for the salty link to give you more money off, but I want you to save more money. So I'm going to tell you, use our Keto Chow link and buy it through Keto Chow. You'll get 10% off your entire purchase on anything except for subscriptions. The only difference between buying it through salty and through Keto Chow is buying it through salty has a lower minimum for free shipping than buying it through Keto Chow. But you're going to save more money buying it through Keto Chow. So that's why I intentionally don't put our salty link in there, and we actually only put them on our RV things.
Right. They're on Two Crazy Campers is the link for salty.
Yeah. Crank Carey said Joe and Rachel will go quackers if they get ducks.
You're so right.
It's more about like, it depends on who you talk to. When I talked to my friend Don, he was like, they all laid in one spot and they were very clean. You talked to Neely and she was like, do not get ducks. They are messy. They lay everywhere. They poop everywhere. And it's like, we already literally, Rachel went out the other day and she closed our storage unit, which is really just a 40-foot shipping container, and didn't realize one of the chickens was in there and locked the chicken in there overnight. They're up on the patio.
I opened it up this morning and it was like, Mommy, I'm stuck in here. And I was like, well, who asked you to come back in here? But yeah. And I just want to give a shout.
Die Hard. Yes. Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I just want to say hi to Deb in case she's watching. We're so thankful that we found a person here locally to watch our chickens and our turkeys while we're gone, anytime like we're, you know, on vacation. And we found her. She just lives right around the corner. We met while she was walking her beautiful German Shepherd. And so thankful, because that was really weighing on my heart. Like, who in the world is going to, you know, watch all our babies when we have to leave for things, whether it's going to Vegas or, you know, going to this cruise. So I'm so thankful. Thank you, Deb. I love you.
Dustin said, what is something you drink when you don't feel good? Salty and hot tea.
Yeah.
With heavy cream in it.
Well, I also will make the Redmond seasoned
Redmond
salt.
seasoned salt.
And it tastes like it's a chicken stock. There's no chicken in it, but it is very comforting. That Redmond seasoned salt in particular tastes great as a seasoning. But then if you're not feeling well, a little bit, I want to say like a teaspoon of it in like a mug of hot water is just, it's wonderful.
Chris says, so Ruby Grapefruit Salty is a ruby grapefruit flavor. It does use actual grapefruit, though it is not ruby red grapefruit.
Neato.
That's interesting.
That is neat.
He also said, so the Super Bowl is the same weekend as Coastside, but it is not in the same place.
No.
Super Bowl is in New Orleans. Coastside details are here.
Yeah.
Yes. However, it's Las Vegas and everybody's betting on the Super Bowl.
So it's very crowded from what I understand during that Super Bowl time, because people come in for opportunities to be able to bet in person.
John said, I ordered some grapefruit and lemon lime salty. It didn't make it on time, so I won't have it till after the cruise. We might have a few that we can bring.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to find some.
I'll have to go through and see what we have. Joanna said, red grapefruit is my favorite. I used to eat one a day for years, but I gave it up when I began keto.
Uh-oh.
Eileen said, OMG, we didn't realize the weekend, but we have plane tickets and a hotel room already.
That's
Maybe
nice.
a problem if the Packers are in the Super Bowl.
Right. You're like, I'm going to have to step out and like watch my team play.
Matt, you're stirring up trouble. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's an action movie that takes place at Christmas, but could have happened at any time of the year. Yes, but it's still a Christmas movie. I know. They've said, it's so funny. Half of the cast itself says it was a Christmas movie and half the cast says it wasn't. But it came out at Christmas time. It's got Christmas in it. Die Hard 2 has Christmas in it. It's a Christmas movie. And like that's why everybody sees it at Christmas time. And it's I'm Die Hard. So 3 movies that I have to watch at Christmas time. 4 movies. Have to watch Die Hard. Have to watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Because Rachel.
Have to watch Christmas with the Cranks.
Yes.
And and then the other one is A Christmas Story, because like I grew up with You'll Shoot Your Eye Out.
Christmas and the Cranks like makes me laugh so hard, because we would totally do that. We would have complete plans and this is what we're doing. And then if the kids said that they needed us for something or we had an opportunity, that's just us. We're going to drop everything and go hang out with our kids and just act like it's not an imposition at all, right? That's just us.
Chris said Die Hard is more of a Christmas movie than The Sound of Music or any Harry Potter movie.
Harry Potter's sometimes.
Only one of them is at Christmas time.
Happy Christmas, Harry.
I know, but there's only one. It's not like every Harry Potter movie is based around Christmas.
I feel like there's a Christmas moment in a few of them, though.
So Shauna, we have to fix this. I've never seen Die Hard.
Shauna, what are you doing, girl? You need to fix that this year.
Neither has Kat.
Kat.
Yeah, Jamie said all the Die Hards are Christmas movies. Well, I wouldn't say that. I definitely say 1 and 2, even though 2 wasn't that good.
There's that one that's like a 4th of July, that Live Free or Die Hard. Or
they were good.
Yeah, it's
so
good.
So
it's
sad to see what's happened with Bruce Willis.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. But like, it's good. It's lovely to see him in his prime. And also the dad from Family Matters. I freaking loved Family Matters. How many other Family Matters fans are out there. And it wasn't just for Urkel. Like, I love Urkel, obviously, but like the parents on that show were so great. And I went, what was his? It's Reginald something, but he's in the Die Hard movie and he's fantastic. He's absolutely fantastic in it. I love it. Worth a watch.
Anything else before we get off? Sarah's another one. I've never seen any of the Die Hard movies.
Not Sarah G.
No.
Oh, Sarah Joy? Gracious.
Joan said, now Die Hard is on my list. Have not seen it either.
Well, I'm glad that we can help with that. Miriam says, I love Family Matters. It was so good.
Chris said, I will again make a recommendation for the 8-Bit Christmas. If you like the Christmas story, you'll probably like it, especially when they realize the Nintendo Power Glove sucked.
Okay, I've got to watch that.
Dustin, Die Hard with a Vengeance is my favorite Die Hard. It was not written to be a Die Hard movie. Yes, I think it is my favorite.
That's
one
the one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, and he is fan-freaking-tastic in that role. Like, them together. The only other couple that were like, what's that one that was like the Fast and Furious spin-off? I like them together. They remind me of them. It was Hobbs and Shaw. So if you like Die Hard with a Vengeance and you like that kind of banter where they're working together, but they don't really get along and they're like teasing one another through the whole movie, like if you haven't seen Hobbs and Shaw, I recommend that as well. Cause I love that movie because they're funny together.
Okay, we are going to get off. Got to get up in the morning. We got to finish packing everything up here, put all our tools in the storage shed. Make sure we have the tools to fix the house.
And then I've got to pack some clothes.
We have to pack clothes because we haven't packed for the cruise yet.
And we can't go naked. It's not that kind of cruise, y'all. Like,
Please,
it's appropriate. Yes. I'm gonna put some pants on it. Okay.
Yeah, and no upside down pineapples.
No. Oh gosh. Oh, please don't eat. Oh, that's so awful. Don't. Oh, Joseph.
Well, the cruise line's just banned it. So
good gracious.
Okay.
Naughty.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Now, Monday, Keto Beyond the Couch will be pre-recorded because we will be on a cruise, and I am not going to rely on cruise internet to try to do a live stream.
We do not trust Keto Beyond the Couch for that.
No, but we will have it pre-recorded. I don't know where we'll be, if we'll be live in the chat, but it will be up at 10 a.m. on Monday Eastern Standard Time. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night.
We love you.
Bye.